Well, being locked down due to the coronavirus is tough for people all over the world. But for some South Africans, the situation recently became even worse when their homes were demolished by the authorities who claimed they were built illegally. The BBC visited one community south of Johannesburg to find out what life during lockdown is like when your home and all your belongings are destroyed. Rodri Davis reports.
When I saw them arrive, I was very scared because I didn't understand what's going on.
In the middle of South Africa's strict lockdown, the local government has destroyed people's homes.
It was a lockdown. We are not supposed to go anywhere. They came, destroyed our shacks. As you can see, the empty spaces there. There were shacks there.
According to national government regulations, no one should be evicted at this time. Authorities say the residents had invaded the land illegally.
My name is Namhla Solomon. I'm mother of 4. I'm a student. I'm 29. This is a place where my house was. My shack was in this place and used to live, used to do everything here. But it took 5 minutes to destroy my shack. Now I have nothing. I'm left with nothing. I'm homeless. I cannot do anything now. They took my things. They took my pot. They took my furniture. They took my textbook because now I'm a student. They took my textbook away from me. We are homeless now. We have nothing.
Namhla and her 2 youngest children now live with neighbours. Social distancing is impossible.
So at this minute, we are five of us living in this. 3 adults, 2 children. It's very painful because now there's no privacy. So we are forced to collect that dirty water and wash our hands with it to avoid that corona. It's not possible for the corona to go away, the germs and everything. That water is very dirty. I want my stuff back. I want my freedom back because it was my house, that shack. It meant nothing to them, but to me it means too many things. It was my world.
The community planned to challenge the evictions in court. Rodri Davis, BBC News.
Well, this is not just happening in South Africa, but also in many other parts of the African continent. To discuss this further, I'm joined by Robert Lewis-Lettington. He's a lawyer working in land and housing and shelter for UN Habitat and joins me from Nairobi. Have you seen more land appropriation and demolition of houses across the continent since the beginning of this pandemic, Robert?
I don't think we can really say so far that we've seen more demolitions, but what we have seen is more evictions and demolitions which are justified by the causes related to COVID, so overcrowding, hygiene issues and things like that. And that raises a concern that the longer the crisis goes on, that the alarm bells are ringing, that we fear that we will be seeing more and more evictions, and particularly more and more forced evictions and demolitions.
And what are the rights of those people who lose their houses to demolitions like this?
Well, I mean, in the first place, under international law and under many countries' national laws, there should be no forced eviction except in exceptional circumstances. And in the few occasions where it's considered justified, the residents will normally have, regardless of the legal status of their housing, they will have a minimum right to be warned in advance, to also have the right to remove their property and to be able to demolish any building themselves before any external demolition crew is brought in. And governments also, as the responsible parties overall, are normally expected to be responsible for relocation, for appropriate compensation, and similar measures like that, which are established under the recognized right to adequate housing.
But the argument by these governments is that sometimes these dwellings are built on land that has been acquired illegally. The hygienic conditions do not exist in these areas. Surely there comes a time when the governments must come down hard on these communities.
Well, I mean, I think there are always some situations where an eviction may become the necessary action, but this is really always the last resort. Even if an occupation is deemed illegal, and very often what might be called illegal can be a grey area. People may have been given permission by local authorities. In some cases, there may have been land sales, and the tenants are not able to verify whether those are really legitimate or not. There's a range of situations that can apply. But even where that is the case, I mean, even where an illegal residence is the case, there is still the issue that a certain amount of humanity is required. People need warning, they need the ability to move and to handle their own personal property. And even if we're dealing with a situation like COVID, the pandemic, where there is concern about overcrowding, we still have to bear in mind that the disruption of moving people, can actually cause more of a problem than waiting until the crisis is past.
Robert Lewis-Lettington, thank you very much for your insight into this topic.
Thank you.